This is a video that is going to go out to the empaths, chosen ones, highly sensitive people, awakened people, spiritually gifted people. Everything that comes out of the mouth, it's a spell. If the person saying those particular words is probably a narcissist, I don't know, a witch, those kind of toxic individuals, and you're an empath on the other side, there's a very big chance that you're going to receive that message. And that message is going to become your reality. This also happens in cases where a person probably is not awakened, but there is some words they hear or there's some words that they say. Back in the days when I was little, I used to hear things from my parents in that time. I used to hear things like, you were nobody, you will never amount into anything, you will be a failure, you're stupid. So, when you're little, your brain doesn't know the difference between good and bad things. So the brain just accepts everything that someone says. We're talking about the subconscious part of the brain. These things that you hear, over time, you're going to see that you're living that reality. So when I used to hear things like, you will never amount into anything, whenever I used to strive to become my greatest version, whenever I used to strive to be somebody, there would be something ringing in my mind that, but somebody said that I could never amount into anything. Back in the days, you used to hear those kind of things. And over time, the more they say these things, the more these things become a reality. So there is so many empaths, especially who are involved in these toxic, dysfunctional families. And you're hearing a lot of your siblings telling you things. You're silly. You're stupid. I don't know why you're bothering with that thing. It will not work. I don't know why you're going left when you should go right. I don't know why you're doing this when you should do that. So a lot of people, even some of them have found a pet name for you. Okay, maybe you were a monkey. Back in the days, they used to say little monkey, or they used to call you some dog, or they used to call you something. So there was something even like a pet name. Your brain has accepted these things to be your reality. Over the years, the more you hear these things, the more they get registered in your subconscious, and the more the subconscious now gives you this reality as your own. And then you've figured out that you have for long been living another reality. You're very far away, drifted from your authentic self, and you have now started living some other reality that somebody put in your head. When you're dealing with a narcissist, they're your parents. Or if you're a narcissistic parent and you keep on telling your children those kind of things are going to build up in the system. Eventually, somebody used to call stupid back in the days when they were small, they are going to actually become stupid. If you said somebody was lazy back in the days, those people, they are going to turn out to become lazy. If you continue to tell someone that they will never amount into anything, as they grow up, they're going to realize that whatever they touch doesn't work. They try a business, it fails. They try a relationship, it fails. They try to go left, things don't work out. So they're just like going around in circles. And it feels like there's nothing they can achieve for themselves. So they keep on living a life of struggle for some reason. And it doesn't really matter even if it's church, okay? If you know that you've got these pastors who are most likely narcissistic, The pastors may call you into those small rooms for a prayer. They might even sometimes lay their hands on you, and they are going to pretend that they are praying for you. But those prayers are not being answered. Okay? Everything they are praying for you is turning out to be the opposite. So you've been running around in these churches for miracles. You've been praying, or the pastors, there's a pastor in town, they perform miracles, or they do this, or they do that. So sometimes you go to these churches, oh, pastor, pray for me, and things like that. Yes, and the pastors have prayed for you, but for some reason you're like, how come that after all these efforts you've put and energy you've put in yourself to go for prayers and, to try to change your life? Because the reason why we usually pray very, very hard is because at the end of the day, we all want to live a better life. So we want to see some things changing in our lives. But for some reason, it's still the same. Nothing is happening. The pastors that have been praying for you, they continue driving their Bentleys, building these mansions. And you're still the person who is even struggling to find transport to take you to church. Even sometimes you can't feed your families. Now, we need to understand that when you're dealing with narcissistic people, you are dealing with entities. So anything they say, anything they do, or anything they tell you is actually a spell, okay? And sometimes it's a very dark spell. It could be a good spell, and there are sometimes bad spells. But when you're dealing with a toxic person, you can believe that there's an entity that is actually casting spells on you, okay? So that's the reason why you see a lot of people, they continue to struggle as long as they are still involved with those kind of individuals. If it's a wife, for example, you may see that most of the times you're trying to do things, she's going to come in and say something about that, okay? You're trying, maybe for sometime you bought a very beautiful dress, you think that dress is going to be the one you're going to use on an occasion. The narcissist came around, that dress is shit, that dress is like this, or that dress is, they are putting down everything you do. Narcissistic people, they have got entities attached to them, okay? There's a demonic energy that is attached to those individuals, and anything that they say, anything that is coming out of their mouth, if you're the individual who is around them, especially if you're very highly sensitive people, so you usually take things very seriously. A lot of those things, words that are coming out of those people's mouths, they are spells. So these are entities that are casting spells on you. So if a person who, because I remember as well, the moment I woke up, I was like, okay, I started remembering, because I told you that when you wake up, you get that sense where you start to remember so many things. So I started remembering things many years ago. I used to remember that, I remember back in the day somebody said this, or somebody said that. And then I looked within my life and I was like, actually I was living that reality all this time. Now, you need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that the narcissist does not want anything for you. And a little thing even they do for you, they want something in return. Actually, should you even end those entanglements, they are going to ask for those things that they gave you or they did for you, and they're going to return it and they're going to take it back. Okay? That is because whatever it is they gave to you or whatever it is they say to you, it was coming from your enemy. So most of the time, they're going to even ask you to return the things that they did for you. So when a person casts a spell on you, especially a narcissistic person casts a spell on you, you are going to live that reality for a very long period of time. And usually the only way and the only time you will ever be able to break out of those kind of spells is by denouncing those kind of things that they have said to you back in the days. You have got to know how to return this energy, okay? So when a person says something to you, you will know the energy that this person doesn't wish you well. Why did you start that business? You're wasting time. Those kind of businesses, nobody has ever done that. Sometimes you see these family members, why are you wasting your time with opening that shop? The shop is not going to work. They are casting spells. You can usually remove yourself from those individuals. If you know a person is toxic, you can best believe, whether consciously or unconsciously, they do not want the best for you. So they do not want to see you rise, and they do not want to see you shine. So anything they say, and you don't really trust those people, and you feel is negative, because these people are very pessimistic. So for them, it's like nothing can work out. So because they know that nothing ever really works out for them, they want to also project that energy onto other people. So that's why they actually tell you these kind of things. Anybody says you're stupid, even if you're not able to say it back in their presence, you can say it subconsciously. I'm wise, I'm clever, and you're supposed to reverse that energy, because you see, those spells, they need a place to sit. When they send it out to you, it will go and sit in your subconscious. So when you over and over again continue telling yourself that, no, I'm not stupid, I am clever. If you have got the courage to look at them in the face and send that spell back, that will even be the best. But if you cannot do that, for example, you may be having this trauma bond with your parents or trauma bond with the wife, and every now and then they're telling you very negative things, you need to return those things. Physically, you can speak it out. No, I do not accept that. I reject it, and I send it back. And then now you have to tell yourself the things that you believe about yourself. Some of you ladies, you're good looking, but you have this man who is very jealous of you, sometimes because you're looking nice, and sometimes when you go out there, you're getting a lot of attention, and sometimes your husband can't stand it. You could even sometimes be a man who is very handsome, and your wife cannot stand that energy. You go out there and looking for attention, so they're going to continuously bombard you with these spells. Don't think that you're the most beautiful thing on the planet. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to like you. Nobody will love you. Sometimes you hear these nurses telling you things like, I'm the only person for you. When you leave me or something like that, you are going to go out there and nobody's going to date you, or nobody will like you, or whatever. Those kind of things. All those are spells. You reverse that energy by saying, that is not true. I am beautiful. I am handsome. I love myself, and I accept myself 100%. Now, those words, because they are energy, that energy is going to realize that the person, the receiver of that message, is not receiving that message, and that energy is now going to bounce back and go back to the individual that has sent that energy immediately. And this should be done within the next at least 1 or 2 minutes when you're those individuals. So you need to bounce those energies back. If these things have happened way back in the years, one of the things you can do to break out of those kind of energies is by breaking contact with those individuals. Okay, so you need to remove yourselves out of their lives. Because you see, the more you cut your energy from these individuals, you distance yourself from these individuals and you block them, and you are also blocking that energy. You're removing that energy from yourself. So you are now having a time of self-reflection and getting some time to work on yourself. Because you see, the more you continue working on yourself, is the more that energy that never belonged to you from day one, from the beginning, that energy will usually start bouncing back to the original senders, because that was never your energy. Those were things that were programmed into your subconscious mind by a person that never really wished you well. They never wanted you to prosper. They never wanted to see you glow. They didn't want to see you shine. Okay? Remove yourselves from toxic people. You can never see any amount of growth when you're still involved with the person that you know that is toxic. Everything that you touch is going to fail, because energetically, spiritually, emotionally, they don't want to see you glow, and they never want to see you shine. So when you remove yourself from those individuals, you're also cutting cords with those kind of people, and they now don't have a place to dump that energy. So that energy is always going to stay around them. If there's something they have said or they have done to you back in the days or back in the years, when you remove yourself from those individuals, you are going to have the ability and the energy to work on yourself, okay, and start doing some healing work on yourself to be able to raise the vibration. Because you see, low vibrational energy, it cannot stay around a high vibrational being. That's why you see a lot of times, as an awakened person, for example, people, they continue trying to harm you. They are sending spells, they are doing this thing, whatever, black magic and witchcraft, but you are continuing to raise the vibration. And that energy cannot sit with you. So whenever the energy comes around you, whatever that wave of energy comes around you, the energy the energy figures out that this person is on a very high vibration, and that energy cannot operate with high vibrational beings. So that is how that energy now is bounced back to these kind of individuals. So that's why you see a lot of people, they start to have problems, you know. All of a sudden you left your father. A lot of you guys have had you the black sheep. You say that, oh, you know, you left the family back in the days, the scapegoats. You left the family. After 6 months, you saw your father falling sick. All of a sudden they got a disease, they got a cancer. Some people passed away, some people got into accidents. Some people started losing things. That is their energy bouncing back and hitting them very hard in the face. Anybody that is trying to mess with a chosen person, that person is going to wake up. The very moment they're going to wake up, they're going to call all their power back. When they do call their power back, ladies and gentlemen, that energy you've put on those individuals over the years, that energy will not have a place. They will not have a host. The energy no longer has a host because it's very low vibrational energy. So the energy is now gravitating and moving and bouncing back to these individuals. That is why you see a lot of things happening. It could even sometimes be a job place. You are doing a lot of work, putting in so much work, effort after effort. You know, the manager used to come around. Oh, why did you do this? Or why did you do that? Who did this? Or who did that? So they're always continuously bombarding you with negative energy, even in the workplace. And probably sometime you was like, okay, I cannot handle this. You have resigned from the job, or maybe sometimes they have fired you from work. Something has happened, but you have detached from those individuals. Have you noticed that when you get out of those kind of corporations and companies, did you know the reason as to why those companies collapse? It is the energy bouncing back to those individuals. And now they cannot operate without you. Is why the companies collapse. You see people getting fired, you see people getting sacked, you see everything is going down. They have lost money, they have gone bankrupt. That is what is happening with energy. You guys need to understand how to operate with energy. Awakened individuals, the most important thing you'll ever do for your life is learning how to heal. Healing puts you on a very high frequency. Of course, it takes some work. Of course, you have to do the work as a person. You have to do the work and put in the work. But the moment you get to that high vibration, every energy that anybody has ever pumped towards you, whether it was a word, whether it is something they have done, or there's something they have said, that energy is going to bounce back because that energy no longer has a host. It is going to bounce back to the sender. And that is why it is extremely dangerous to mess with high vibrational people, because they feel energy. You say something, whether they are there or they are not there, they are going to see it, they will hear it, they will feel it. They are going to receive that energy because those people, they're very much tuned in. So you may say something and you think that they don't know. When they go to sleep, they're going to dream about it, that somebody said something, or they were trying to push something towards their way. They will dream about it. When they wake up, ladies and gentlemen, even the moment they open their eyes, they're going to do the work to bounce that energy back to the sender because they will know that energy where it's coming from. Is why it's very dangerous and almost impossible to deal with this kind of awakened people because they've already recognized the power that they've always had within them, and they know how to use energy in a very productive way. Narcissists, let them go. Narcissistic father, let him go. Narcissistic mother, release that person. Wife, husband, let them go. Churches, let them go. Focus on yourself. Heal. Heal your wounds, heal your trauma, raise your frequency. When you do that, all the negative energy that they've ever sent your way, it doesn't have a host. Because it's very low vibrational energy. It has just been lingering around your energy for a very long period of time because you was also on a low frequency. So you raise your vibration. And that is how you get out of those spells. I hope this video helps. Let us know what you think about this video in the comment section below. You guys know that I do love and appreciate your support. Book a session, donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. Desmo signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.